Now, joining on to the show, we have Chad Bell, who is in the New York Yankees organization and better known to me as the owner of my only two errors in professional baseball so far. So, Chad, welcome onto the show. How are we doing today?
Doing fantastic. How are you guys?
Hey, we can't complain. I mean, look at Alex. He's got his Yankee stuff on right now. He's pumped. He's just pumped to be talking to a Yankee. He's tired of talking to all the Royals people all the time. You know, that's who we've really gone after in this podcast. So now we're really we're expanding the empire that is a whole new ballgame, and we're moving on to different teams. So, let's get right into it, I guess. You went to Pulaski. You were drafted in the 19th round of the 2019 draft. You went to Louisiana Monroe. And I guess I'll start with a question about the Pulaski Yankees. What was that like? I mean, you go from Louisiana Monroe and then you go to Pulaski, which is the southwestern part of Virginia near Roanoke, into a beautiful stadium onto an absolutely loaded team. What is your mindset like going into that year?
Well, I mean, it was definitely like a shell shock, to be honest with you. I've never even heard of Pulaski, Virginia, when they called me in and said, "Hey, you're going there." I didn't think the town could be smaller than Monroe, Louisiana, because I went from a pretty big town in Colorado growing up, and then to Monroe, which was smaller. And then, I mean, I think I don't even remember, it was like thousands of people in Pulaski. But I mean, it's an awesome town. Field was always packed, always sold out. I got to say, I mean, maybe a little biased, but I think it was the best place to play in the Appalachian League. But overall, I loved it. Just wish the town was a little bit bigger so we didn't have to, drive 45 minutes after games just to go eat at the nearest Applebee's. But other than that, the experience was great.
Now, did you know how to pronounce the team's names when you first got drafted to place in the Appy League, or did you have to figure it out?
I had to figure it out for sure. There was a couple there that, like Elizabethan, I still don't know if I say that right. I heard Pulaski, Pulaski. So I still don't even know which one's right, but
Yeah, well,
just kind of roll with it.
For anybody who doesn't know, Pulaski is kind of the anomaly of the Appalachian League. It's normally, traditionally the league is older stadiums that are more scenic, I guess is the best way to say it. And Pulaski, unbelievably scenic, that's for sure. But you're driving down this hill and there's just this really nice, brand new stadium with a nice video board, with nice locker rooms, with seats that actually have the back of them on them.
Yep.
They're actually real seats. And it's just it's a really cool place to play at. It's the one place in that league, which I love that league, but it's the one place that you play in and there's like a buzz in the crowd. Like you can kind of feel the energy from the crowd. And that's, 4th of July, everything like that, everywhere it gets like that. But Pulaski was like that all the time. But one of the most important things about Pulaski, for you being a left-handed hitter, is it was only, 300 down the right field line? It was a taller fence, but it was 300 feet down the right field line. So, and I think it was only, 350 to right center field at the one little spot. So what was that like? I don't know how Louisiana Monroe is, but you get to go to a nice little hitter's ballpark, especially for a left-hander. What did that feel like?
Yeah, it was awesome. I got called up, I want to say, after maybe the first couple series to Pulaski, and I remember walking into the field and I looked towards the right field wall and I was like, oh, I could hit here. Like I could play here as much as they want me to. But I also had to realize, I can't just try to start pulling the ball. But I mean, there was definitely a couple balls that probably should have been caught anywhere else, but kept carrying and hit the wall or somehow found its way over the wall. But it was definitely appealing when I first saw it, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, everybody's playing on those dimensions, right? It's not your fault. It's a little bit shorter out there.
Yeah, exactly right.
What was your favorite park to hit in that summer besides Pulaski?
I would have to say maybe Kingsport. Vinnie, you might have to help me out a little bit. I know Princeton was a short porch, but for whatever reason, I always had a hard time seeing there. I don't know if it was the batter's eye or what, but I thought Kingsport, I had a pretty good series against them the one time we went all the way out there and played. But yeah, I don't know. Vinny, you got anything on that?
I mean, I really liked Princeton just because if you hit the ball in the air, it was a homer.
Yeah.
Johnson City, same thing. You just hit it in the air, it's gone.
I never got to play there. That was
Oh,
they opened up, I believe, against Johnson City to open the year, and then we never went there again. They came to us for one more series, and that was it.
and then did you ever go to Bristol? The high school field
with the chicken coop.
Yep, that's
locker
right.
room.
With the chicken coop locker room. Alex, these locker room, you walk in and it was just kind of empty spaces with chicken wire in between each. And that was your locker.
And you had to be careful too with your metal spikes walking on that floor. It was like an ice rink in there.
Yeah. There were some slips and falls for sure. Yeah, I mean, there were some beauties of places to play in that league. That's for sure. That's I have nothing bad to say about that league at all, or the stadiums or anything. It was just a really cool experience.
Yeah, for sure.
So as you moved into professional baseball from Louisiana Monroe, what was the biggest thing that you learned or biggest thing that you changed to your game?
Well, like the biggest thing I learned like right away was they didn't really care about wins or losses. Like it was always just, how could you get better as a player? And it was really individualized. I know like in college, if you lose a game, you should have won, like the locker room's silent. And then our infield coordinator was there, like my first weekend there, Miguel Cairo. He's actually the bench coach in the MLB now. But he like came in the locker room and everyone was silent. And he was like, let's go. And like, he turned the music on. He was like, I hate that stuff, man. So that was definitely an eye opener. And then just being able to like forget the night before was the biggest thing. It doesn't matter if you go 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. The good thing about pro ball is you're playing every night. So like the next day, it's a whole new thing.
Yeah. And that individualized kind of atmosphere can lead to more wins if everybody takes it the right way. Right. I mean, you look at college and, like, this is no offense to any college out there, but there are a lot of coaches that will get really mad at you if you strike out, and they're super angry with you over one at bat, and it's not really like that at the professional ranks, right? Each at bat doesn't necessarily mean as much as it does in college, obviously, because you get double the amount of bats and everything like that.
Yeah, exactly. And like to go along with that, like you'd come up with runners on first and second, nobody out. Like in college, you're probably getting the bunt sign most cases, depending on the team. But you get to pro ball, they're like, no, we don't care about that. Like you're here to hit and you're here to
hit a double,
get better as a player.
Drive both of them in. How many times did you bunt?
I think I bunted maybe once or twice. Once for sure, and I think I attempted a second one, but I do not think I got it down. And it was one was against you guys, I think. You guys were shifting me, so I tried to beat the shift, and I bunted it entirely way too hard.
I love that.
Yeah, you bunted against me. I was playing shortstop. I'm pretty sure, and you dropped down the drag on me.
Yep.
Yeah, I was not happy.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was and then I got pinch run for because of how slow I am. So that was cool.
Hey, I've been there, man. I know the pain.
Okay, so while we're, now we have a Pulaski Yankee on, and most people that listen to this show should know about the 17-inning game that we played.
I've heard about this from multiple sources.
So to explain, if anybody doesn't know, we go first game in Burlington. I believe you guys won, right?
No, I think didn't you guys win both of them?
I think we won game 1, then you guys won game 2. And then we went to a game 3, and that was the 17-inning game.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that we ended up scoring was I bunted, got pinch run for, and the guy ended up scoring, and that's how we got our winning run. What was that 17-inning game like for you guys? I know it was for us, but what was it like for you all?
Well, like the thing is it's a long season coming in. So, I mean, obviously we wanted to win. But when you guys finally won, we were like, did we really just take 17 innings and waste all that time to lose and end the season? Like that's what we were talking about. But no, I mean, throughout the game, we were just like, man, somebody come up with like a big hit. And I think I had like 8 or 9 at bats that game. Like it was insane. And then just crazy plays. Like I remember you guys had like bases loaded, 1 out or nobody out or somehow, and then we bring in we brought in a shortstop. His name was Alexander Vargas, and he's like one of the newer signs. It's like signed for a good bit. First game in Pulaski just turns this massive double play that like he shouldn't have turned. And we were like, let's go, baby. And then like we went out there, and then I don't remember what we did on offense, didn't get it done. And then I think it was the very next inning, you guys took the lead, and then we weren't able to score. And then the rest is history. Mm-hmm. Now, did you guys win it, or did Johnson City win it?
Nope, we lost. That was when the hurricane rolled through, and we went to Johnson City the next night, won, and then they went to Burlington and won 2 straight and then beat us. So we did not come out victorious of that championship.
It's because they have Dillon Pierce.
Yeah.
Do you remember that name at all?
Yeah.
Kid just wins championships. Dude.
He just wins them.
Dude, he finds a way to get his team to win. And I played summer ball with him, so that's why I brought it up. But I mean, he won at Oregon State, and he won, and then goes in first year pro ball and wins.
Yeah, that's the right-handed pitcher, right? Shorter guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Good stuff too.
He pitches very angry on the mound. I remember that.
Great way to describe him. We used to call him Little Tribe.
Yeah.
In summer ball.
Yeah.
Now, was that the longest game you've ever played in?
Yes, I think so. I think it is. I had a really long one in college one time, but I think it was like 16 innings maybe. But I definitely think that was the longest.
Yeah. So as a West Coast guy going east, and then you go into, Pulaski, which is, like I said, the western part of Virginia. What was the biggest thing you learned about the East Coast when you came over?
Well, like in Pulaski itself, like, dude, everybody moves so slow. Like, it's just like, get out of the way, man. Like, whether you're driving, dude, I know.
Speed. Yeah.
I know. My brother actually went to college out there, and he was telling me one time, he was like, yeah, I loved it, man. Like, every time I left my house, I just never locked the door, and I never worried about anybody coming in. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, you do that in some other places and just not good. But I mean, I loved it though, man. Like, whether it's the South, was a culture shock in college, but like the Southern hospitality is real. And then in Pulaski, like, you walk around and they know who you are, and they always treat you really, really well. So, but I loved it for sure.
What was your daily routine like that summer? Was it more of just trying to figure it out, like as a pro ball player, or did you kind of have something already in mind what you were going to
do? Like, I just didn't know really what to expect. So like the first week was definitely different, but I kind of got in that routine early once everything kind of got going and it kind of felt normal again. We go to bed. We stayed at this like really old hotel in Pulaski, and it was right next to the train tracks. And when I mean like the walls were paper thin, they were paper thin. So like a train would roll through at the worst times too, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and then like 6 a.m. But never during the day. Never hear them during the day. Only when you're trying to sleep. But other than that, man, you just kind of hang out, and then you head to the field about 1, and then kind of there until 9, and then it's kind of just living life on repeat. Kind of like we are in COVID right now.
Yeah, it is kind of funny during the seasons how you just get into that routine, and it's just like, okay, like I remember I would break up my days just for going to Starbucks. I'd be like, I just need to get out, go do something. Like I was going to get a cup of coffee before I go to the field just to break up kind of the everyday what I'm doing. So this past summer, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you won that tournament, right?
The Hitchhiker, yeah.
Yeah. So this summer, Hitchhiker put on a really cool event that it was for professional players, independent ball, affiliated, whatever it may be, who had access to a Hitchhiker machine. It was free to enter. You could, you would enter, you had a machine throw to you. It had to be a certain speed. And it was basically you play one-on-one with somebody across the country, wherever they may be. You sync up your 2 machines and you play against each other. And it had a $10,000 grand prize. And Chad won the thing. and he ended up, he won the tournament. So what was that experience like this summer? And I guess, how excited were you to receive that money?
Dude, it was awesome, man. We were basically cut short right as spring training started, they sent us home, and then you just didn't know what to expect. And it was kind of hard to like go in and like do baseball stuff every day. And then my brother owns the facility I work out at back home, and he came up to me and he's like, "Hey, HitTrax is putting this tournament on." I was like, "Heck yeah, I'll do it." So I entered, and then like you said, man, it was like really cool to be able to like link up with minor leaguers all over the country, and like you said, play head to head. It was a lot of swings though, don't you agree? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, just it was what, 6 innings, just nonstop swinging.
And you're just trying to hit homers the whole time. It was basically a six inning home run derby for the entirety of that thing.
Absolutely. But it was really cool how they kind of broadcasted it. And then, the last couple of days, and I think it was like when it was like quarterfinals and semis and then championship, they actually like the CEO of HitTrax, and then I believe his name's Andrew, right? That's the other guy.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. They will like actually like commentate while you guys were hitting, and I didn't know that because my mom was watching obviously at home, and she was like, yeah, they were commentating it, and I had no idea they were doing that. I thought they were just like live streaming it, but it was definitely cool and fun to compete, and kind of like re-energized you in the baseball sense.
Yeah. So with 2020 and everything that kind of has gone on, something we like to ask is, were you able to get better? Were you able to work on something that's going to help you in 2021, or did you just kind of remain the same because, you feel good about what you're doing, or kind of what'd you do?
Well, after my first year, like it was good, but it was also like an eye-opening experience, like it definitely exposed some parts of my game. So as bad as COVID has been like throughout the country, not just baseball related, but like talking in the baseball world, like it's probably one of the best things that's happened to me, because it was like I kind of like not necessarily restarted over on my swing, but I got with some of the Yankees hitting coaches, and we pointed out some stuff that we saw like in past at bats, and then we kind of made a plan to attack it. And then like my swing's feeling probably the best it's ever has felt throughout my playing days. So I wish we could be actually playing baseball right now, but as far as like having that much time to get stronger and really learn more like of my swing and really get that identity as a hitter, like I feel like it was really, really beneficial. So I made the best of a terrible situation, as I'm sure all of us are trying to do.
How anxious are you just to try out that swing in a live game situation?
Dude, you have no idea. You have no idea. Like I'm trying to find anybody that wants to throw live out here in Louisiana. I actually moved back to my college town at the beginning of February, and I'm here till spring training just to get in some nicer weather. But it's frustrating, hitting off the machine and BP throwers every day and not being able to see if like actually what you worked on is going to work per se. But I'm definitely ready to get going. That's for sure.
But Alex, go ahead and introduce our final topic.
Yeah, so it's called Balls and Strikes. It's a game that Vinnie and I play. So I guess I'll start, and I'll ask a question, and you determine if the question is a ball or a strike. And the first person to get a strikeout wins. So I'll ask a question. You say it's a ball or a strike. If you say strike, I ask again. If you say ball, it goes to Vinnie, and then he's up.
Okay. So like, is it like trivia?
No. We'll ask you like your opinion about stuff, like things about you.
Okay. And if I say strike, I got to answer.
Yeah. And if you say ball, you don't have to answer, but you can. But if you say ball, make us feel bad about how bad of a question it is.
Especially Vinnie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he even gets up. So first question, what would be one baseball card you've never been able to own that you've always wanted to get?
We're gonna go ball. I don't know. It's been a while since I've collected baseball cards, so I just don't think I can answer that.
Yeah. All right. Well, want to know, Alex. So we'll go. So if you look in the 2019 Appalachian season, who was one pitcher, if you can remember, like that you were just like, nope, I hate facing this guy?
Strike. Your guy, the 3/4 arm slot guy from Virginia.
Noah Murdoch is who you're talking about. The 6'8" beast.
dude. I remember I think it was maybe playoffs. No, because I think it was the last game of the year actually. Because I think we ended this final season with you guys.
Yeah.
And dude, like he was throwing like 98 two-seamers and then just threw a wipeout slider out of nowhere. And it's just I always struggled picking it up off of him.
Yeah.
Always struggled off of him. You guys had a good pitching staff though too, because you had that one lefty that started for you guys that was like 95, 96 that I always did not enjoy facing that much.
Yeah, we did have a good staff. Murdoch, him and I grew up together, so I've been seeing him dominate hitters for 10 years now.
Yeah, I remember going in and showing our hitting coach. I think he throws a changeup, doesn't he?
I think so, yeah.
I think he threw a changeup at like 89, and I was just like, that's the hardest changeup I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay, so let's see. I'm up 0-1. Well, you already mentioned the Applebee's. I want to ask you where your favorite restaurant was in Pulaski, but I don't know if there is another answer other than the Applebee's. So I guess I'll just try it in case there was a local joint that you liked. What's the best restaurant in Pulaski that you found when you were there?
I'm gonna have to go ball with you there, man. Like there was only one restaurant in town, and it was just underneath the hotel, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't. We'd always go to Applebee's. It was more fun for us.
Yeah.
So I'll have to go ball with you. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, hey, all right.
Who, in your opinion, out of all the artists in your phone for music, is the most underrated?
Strike. Okay. Don't hate me, but Machine Gun Kelly's new album, Tickets to My Downfall, I really think that is one of the best albums like released in a long time. Like I like all types of music, rap, country, punk rock, classic, reggae. Like I even have a Latin playlist now because of baseball, obviously. But yeah, I just don't think Machine Gun Kelly gets enough credit for his talent because he's a rapper. He can do that like old punk rock type feel. But yeah, I got to go with that one.
All right, so 1-1 account for me. Who would be one broadcaster you would always hope to hear broadcast a home run call for you?
And
it doesn't have to be a Yankee broadcaster.
See, I'm terrible with names, and I'm trying to. I'm
We'll
gonna go strike, but yeah, you gotta help me out. I think it was the Dodgers guy,
Vin Scully.
Vin Scully. I wanted to say Don, and I knew that wasn't right, but yeah, Vin Scully. Either him or the famous guy that did the Derek Jeter one that he kept through his whole career.
John Sterling.
John Sterling, yeah. But it would be pretty cool to be able to have those two, announce a home run for me. That would be pretty sweet.
So that's a strike, right?
Yeah, that's a strike.
You said it, Alex. Why don't you listen to our guest?
1-2.
All right.
I'm pretty good at strikeouts, so you guys both got a chance.
All right. I guess I'll ask this one. How many pillows do you have to have a good night's sleep?
I'm gonna have to go ball. Is that a thing for people?
Some people, yes, they're very.
I'm very picky about pillows. Yeah.
I mean,
what do you got against pillow people? Come on.
I don't got anything against them, but like I've never really thought about that question. Like one for my head and maybe like one to like hold and move around in your sleep. I don't know. But I'm not one of those guys where I have like a specific number that I absolutely have to have.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I'll have to start asking people that.
Yeah. So you're either going to love this question or you're going to hate it. There's going to be no in between. So I'm going to ask it. Do you have a sneaking suspicion on how you're going to die?
I'm going to die. Man. Oh my gosh.
It's a whole new ballgame.
No, I don't, man. Like I've been trying, like, I don't have any like crazy hobbies where like I just can see.
I thought you were about to say, I've been trying to figure it out, and I just have no idea.
No, man, but like, I don't know. That's an interesting one. You know, I've had like I hate heights, like really high up. Like obviously, if it's like a tree or anything like that, I don't really care. But like if I'm at like the top and looking down, like I'm like, man, what if I fell right here? But yeah, I don't know. Tough question. I'm gonna have to go ball for you.
Yeah. Hey.
Good question though. I feel like you've gotten some interesting responses for that.
No, I haven't. Everybody has just said no.
Dang.
I love how he said, "Good question, but ball." I love that. That's my.
It's a hard
Well,
question.
it's a really good question, but like if you don't have the answer, like you just
Right.
can't answer it.
Right.
That's true. That's true. So 2-2. Okay. What would be your favorite TV show as a kid?
Oh, as a kid, we got to go strike, but I can't give you one. Like I watched so many shows growing up, like cartoon shows, like Ed and Eddie, Tom and Jerry, like all those that you just were on every day. Code names Kids Next Door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always tell people like younger kids like they don't know what they're missing because I feel like their cartoons that they grew up with now are just horrible, and the ones we grew up were like awesome.
You sound like that old guy right now. That's exactly
I know.
What you sound like.
I know, man, but I am getting old. I turned 24 tomorrow, man. And I'm playing with kids that are like born in like 2003 now.
And you're just hitting your prime. That's right. So, Alex, congratulations to you for winning Balls and Strikes. Chad, we've got 2 more show questions. So,
okay.
The first one, you're sitting at home. You're about to enjoy a nice dinner, whatever you do when you're at home. And you go to pour yourself a drink, a water, a soda, whatever it is. You look in the pantry, and there's so many different types of cups sitting in front of you. You've got glass, you've got styrofoam, you've got plastic, you've got a Yeti. What are you picking? What's your go-to type of cup?
My go-to type of cup. I don't know. I don't like getting up for refills, so I go for like the biggest one I can find, honestly.
So it doesn't matter what kind of cup, just the biggest one that's in there.
Just the biggest one, man. Like whether it's a Yeti or styrofoam, it just kind of depends on what I'm drinking, you know? If I'm drinking, now obviously I'm 21, so but like if I'm drinking like a beer, like a glass. I love drinking beer out of the glass. Just that, but like if I'm going like water or whatnot, I just get the biggest one so I don't have to get up and refill it. It's super lazy, but
that's a hilarious answer. Nobody's ever said that before, but that's my new favorite answer for this question. And then our next show question is, what is the best position in baseball? Not the most valuable in your opinion, not the most important in your position, just straight up the best position in baseball.
Best position in baseball.
And there is a correct answer.
There is a correct answer.
Yeah.
In your eyes or
hey, just in the world's eyes?
Best position in baseball. I got to go with Major League DH. I mean, what's better, man? It's not the most valued, but you literally just sit there, and then when it's your turn to go up and rake, you rake. Like, because if you're a Major League DH, you obviously drop bombs, or you're a really good hitter, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be the DH. So, I mean, you literally just chill there and, you know, shoot the shit with people, and then just, I'm in the hole. I better go get ready. Like,
yep. All right. Hey, that's better than saying like shortstop or pitcher.
Yeah. No.
You know.
No, I mean, definitely. I think it would be cool to be a center fielder too. But I've always said that. I've always had man, how sweet would it be to be like towards your end of the career and like just your DH? Like,
yeah,
go out there and rake.
Yeah, I appreciate the difference of answers that you've given us.
See, yeah, I'm not that type of guy that likes to give answers that everybody knows, you know. But you said there was a right answer. I'm going that was a wrong answer, but let's hear it.
The correct answer is first base. It's just the correct answer. So
wait, what position do you play?
First base. Just coincidentally. Yeah, I know. So it just
crazy.
happened that way. It just, I don't know what it was. I was born into it as a lefty, and as a slow footed.
Hey, real quick, do you remember like the first time we actually met? It wasn't on the baseball field.
No. then
Do you remember when we were playing? It was I thought of this right before I was coming on. I was like, I got to bring it up. You remember it was at that Chipotle, dude, right by the hotel we stayed at?
Oh, yeah.
You guys were eating there, and we recognized you guys, and we were like, oh gosh. And it was raining, and we were hoping for a rain out because there were a bunch of games in a row.
Yeah.
And we were like, so what's the word, guys? We playing today or what? And I think it was your third base coach. That was LaRoche, wasn't it?
He was our hitting coach.
Or hitting coach, yeah. He was like, yeah, he talks to me and said like it wasn't looking good. But didn't we end up playing or something? I don't remember.
Oh yeah. But we only had one rain out that year, I think, which was incredible. I don't know how
it was just funny that's how we met, was just asking if we were actually going to play that night or not.
Yeah, we see each other at the Chipotle, and everybody's like, "We gonna see you guys later or what?" Because it's pouring outside, and like because you guys probably had to walk over to the Chipotle, so you guys were wet. And we were just sitting there because we just drove over, but no rainouts that year for us. Just one. We had one, and then we had Kids Day the next day, so we had to play doubleheader on Kids Day. What's your routine on a day off? I find this to be a fascinating question because guys have so many different answers.
Dude, I take it like as easy as possible.
Do you hit?
It kind of depends. Well, that was the thing. So like, I didn't know if I could just choose not to hit.
Yeah.
I was like our infield guy would be coming up to me. He's like, "Hey, you don't have to do early work or anything today." And I was like, "All right, cool." But I was never told that I wasn't going to go into the game. Like, if they were like, "Hey, there's no chance of you playing today," like obviously I'd probably, depending on how the body felt, maybe not swing. But I always like hitting, whether it's like 2 rounds or 6.
Yeah. Well, off days are also known as home run derby.
That too. You don't care about anything on your off days. You go in there, you see that you're getting the off day, and it's just like, nice. It's a little refreshing.
Yeah, my favorite thing to do on an off day was tell all the hitters how bad whoever was pitching was. So if they would strike out a few innings later when they're not as mad about it anymore, be like, this guy kind of sucks. Like, what are you doing up there? I would just sit there the whole time and just trash whatever pitcher it was, no matter who it was. It could be anybody on the mound. They could be throwing a no-no and just nobody's touching them. And I'm just sitting there like, you guys, like, come on, what are we doing? Like, that's
our big saying was like, we always joked around, like our team was really close. It was really fun to be on that team. But like if someone like struck out, like absolute sword, like worst swing you'll ever see, like obviously they're pissed off coming to the dugout, but we had like 4 or 5 of us, right? A lot of times it was, they'd be yelling it at me or, the other hitters, and you'd come in there and just like, you're kidding. Like, what are you doing? Dude. And you're just like, man, you're supposed to be on my team and you're just roasting me.
There's always somebody there to roast you whenever you feel you're angriest. There's always somebody there to bring you down a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but so before we wrap up, tell everybody where they can find you on social media, whatever it is. Tell everybody what you bring to the table and where they can find you.
Man, I'm on Twitter and Instagram the most. Chadley Bell 12. Simple and easy. But I mean, I don't post all that much. I retweet a lot of stuff, like funny stuff or like feel good stuff, whether it's like cool stories but I'm not huge on the social media game yet. Maybe one day.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Chad, thank you for taking the time to come on and talk with us. I had a great time. Alex, I hope you had fun over there in your Yankee. So again, just thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, man.
And also happy birthday on March 4th.
Yeah, happy early.
Your birthday.
Thank you.
Happy 24th.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know what I'm going to do though, man.
You'll probably go hit, probably lift, I'd imagine, and then, figure it out.
It's been raining so much down here that like the field's been too wet to hit on, but tomorrow's looking good. So
yeah, there you go. A nice little birthday present for you, some on-field BP.
Exactly. Maybe the golf course reopens. That's the other thing. I'm addicted to golf. Absolutely addicted.
Good. Yeah, maybe you could start posting on your Instagram story of your golf swing and kind of let people see what you got.
It's a smooth 90 to 100.
Yeah, there you go. That's all that matters. You can break 100, you feel good about that day. You stay in double digits, you feel good.
You can shoot in the hundreds as long as you par the last hole or birdie.
Yeah. Hey, that's right. That's
there
right.
You go.
Whatever keeps you coming back.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thanks again. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, guys.